Okay, I'm back. All right. Gonna wait a minute for people to come back. Uh-oh, got twisted. There we go. Julia, hello. Send a message if you'd like to collaborate. Aroma, hello. A Smith Lifts, what's up? So I'm back. I had to use the restroom as well, so I'm back now. And I'm going to continue with my makeup. But you're gorgeous. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, foundation. So I'm going to be using this is my first time using it actually, so we'll see what I think of it. It was on clearance for $2.68, which is why I got it. We'll see if it's any good. I've never used a Revlon foundation, so we'll see how it is. It's the Revlon Candid foundation, and it's the shade 440 Caramel or Caramel, however you pronounce it, depending on where you're from. Has a nice pump, which I do appreciate. I like when it has a pump. All right, me time now. Oh, there we go. Okay. Token, I don't know what that means. AV Fitness, what's good? How are you feeling today? I'm feeling pretty good. How are you? It's been a good day thus far. It's a pretty decent match, I think. I'm a little bit paler today because I put my self-tanner on like last week, so it's definitely starting to fade. But I am naturally like medium skin toned, so hopefully this works out. Okay. No problem, your liver? Why would I have liver problems? Am I missing something? Why would I have liver problems? Am I missing something? Next Generation, Landscape Management, hello. Luis, what's up? All right, yeah, it's a little dark for me right now. Oh, well, we're just gonna wing it. It's all right. It would definitely match me in, not even summer. I'd be too dark for this in the summer, but in the springtime or after I have freshly applied my tan. But I am definitely a bit light for this right now. Kim, wish I could stay and hang out, but sleep time for me. Yeah, I understand. Thanks for being in here, though. I really appreciate you watching. Have a good night. Pimples on the face are a sign of liver fat. Where are you seeing pimples? These are called acne marks, and that's not what pimples are a sign of, actually. Zits acne is 90% genetic. Does not have to do with liver fat. Just letting you know. So, no. I used to have terrible hormonal acne, which is why I have scarring, but I have a clear complexion now, which I'm really happy about, which is why most days I don't wear foundation because I don't feel the need to anymore. But today, for fun, I am, because I wear makeup like twice a week maybe, and I think doing makeup is fun. Liver spots are different from acne. Liver spots are dark spots that show up on your skin, particularly like your hands. That's different. So this is definitely a very light coverage foundation, which I actually like. I prefer my foundation to be light to medium coverage and not full coverage because I just don't like to cover up my skin very much. And I think it looks a lot better, say, if I do have a zit or some sort of acne that shows up. I would rather it kind of show and still look like skin, and I think it just looks I'd rather you see a red spot than, some people are different. Some people prefer the other way. I don't like what I used to do, and I'd put full coverage foundation and like cake it on that spot, and I think it looked worse because you just see like the texture. So that's my personal preference. Luis, hello. All right, so I think I'm good on the letting it out now. Paulo, how are you? I'm good. How are you? How you doing? Totally had to jump off. It's just cold. I want to be somewhere warm. Oh, same. I want to be somewhere warm right now too. It's cold and snowing right now where I am, so I like it. It's a very, very light coverage, which I like. So if you're not a light coverage person, then I don't recommend that foundation. But if you are someone who prefers, wow, look at me. Nose just dripping. Just been dripping for the past 2 hours. Really, more like the past 2 weeks, but it's fine. Okay. On to concealer. So I'm going to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Concealer, medium dark 115W. So I talked about this with the Physicians Formula stuff, but also the same goes for the ColourPop Pretty Fresh line. Everything is way lighter than you expect it to be. So I would expect to order something, well, I would usually be in like medium dark, depending on how tan I am, but like these things, like I'm having to order way darker than I thought. So just so you know, if you do order ColourPop Pretty Fresh stuff, don't go by the pictures online. They're not accurate. Go into Ulta and test the color because it's not what you expect. So like this is considered medium dark 115. Well, like, and 115 is like towards the end. Like this is not medium dark. And this is like light medium. So just putting that out there. On patrol today. Very cool, Sean. What's up? So anyway, I'm gonna put a little bit under my nose, or I just started dripping. So now it's red. Okay. And I'm going to blend it out with my concealer brush. News, would you like me to send you a photo of the products? I'm not sure what products you're referring to. And can you explain to me what, like, I have no idea what you're referring to. I would like a little background because I definitely don't just accept products for no reason. It's very important to me that it's something that I actually believe in, or something that's actually something I would actually use. Just why I did not accept sponsorships for a long time, and I only recently accepted the sponsorship from Riderwear because I actually support the quality of their products. Just saying. Okay, put a tiny bit. Boop. Sorry, I tend to use noises as I do this. And this shade's a little darker than the other one. This one is... I'm blind if you can't tell. I should say that. I'm very bad vision. Medium dark 145W. And like this is medium dark one. This is like the darkest medium dark. Like that's not medium dark, it's medium. Just saying. What's your diet like for maintaining a little leanness when you're off prep? Just generally, LOL, girlfriend needs ideas. Diet refers to what you eat. What you eat is important, but not so important as how much you're eating. So maintaining means you need to be eating at maintenance calories. So that's what I do. And my diet looks no different. I incorporate a variety of fruits, veggies, lean protein, and I make sure that I'm within my calorie goal, that I'm moving well, that I'm training consistently, that I'm sleeping well, that I'm managing my stress well, all of those things, getting enough water intake. But you're not going to maintain a very lean physique after your first show. You get leaner in your maintenance phase each time that you compete, because over time you get leaner at maintenance, but initially you're likely going to be a little softer, and you do need to be a little softer when you're not in prep. So you don't want to maintain your leanness. You want to maintain relative leanness in a place that you're comfortable, that you're able to enjoy food well, you're able to train well. That's what's going to matter most. And it's going to look different each time. Your food preferences matter. All right, so contour. All right, so I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Sculpting Bronzer Stick in the shade Toffee. I just warm it up first. There we go. So I have this little angled brush, and then is it Amin El Patron? I'm so sorry if I totally butchered that. I tend to do that with names when I'm reading usernames, so I'm so sorry if I did. I think she's just never done a cut at all before, so I want to explain this stuff to her. So is she in a cut right now, or she just needs to be prepared for the transition afterwards? Most people don't do well afterwards because the method that they use during prep or during a cut is very unsustainable, and so they're like so focused on like, oh my god, I can't wait for all the food I can eat afterwards, that they just gain weight super quickly. So afterwards, and that's not healthy at all. You're in a prime position to store fat right after you compete, so you need to be mentally prepared for that, to understand how to transition out of that dieting phase. That's going to be the most important thing, is that transition. And making sure that you're not overly restrictive during your cut. And that you're paying attention to your training. So, starting soon, she's going to do summer shredding with me. The Alpha League competition, got it, yeah. I am familiar with Christian Guzman's summer shredding. So, has she been lifting for a while? So the one thing with competing is a lot of people jump into competing too quickly. If you don't have enough muscle and then entering a prep, it's a very difficult time. And then you end up dieting down to really low calories because your calories are already relatively low because you haven't been lifting for a long time. And then you get cut down, and then you realize you don't have as much muscle as you thought you would, so you have less muscle definition than you expected, and then it's disappointing. So doing the groundwork, doing the pre-prep is really, really important. So I hope that's also being taken care of. Gonna contour my nose. But first I'm going to do powder. I'm going to set the powder, the contour, and the concealer. So I'm going to set my concealer with the Almay Loose Finishing Powder. Yes, in light medium. I use the little puff that's in here. Upside down. Okay, she used to, but she has fallen off a lot this last year, so I think she's going to struggle a little. We're just doing the online. It's not a real comp like on stage, just on camera. Got it. I would definitely... The thing is, though, I understand that there's reasons to enter those kinds of things, but being in a good position to enter a fat loss phase is really important. So it might be more beneficial for her to not start with that. Might need to lay the groundwork first, even if you're going through it, just so the after effect isn't so much of a negative experience. That's the thing, of course, we're always wanting to, a lot of people think that they need to constantly be in a fat loss phase based on comparing themselves to online or seeing challenges, etc., but it's not always the best option for someone. Sometimes you need just getting back into a routine of things and getting maintenance back, being consistent with your calorie intake and training before you ever consider going into a fat loss phase so that your fat loss phase is successful. All right, so I set the concealed areas, and now I can set the bronzed areas. Which is with this large powder brush from Walmart. And I'm going to be using a shimmery bronzer, not a matte one, because the one underneath is matte. So this is a Rimmel London, I don't know why I said the London part, I don't think I've ever said that. Rimmel Radiance Brick, and this is the shade Dark. And it has like a highlighter in it, I just mix them together. Also appreciate that you actually answer the questions on your live videos. I appreciate that feedback. I do my best to answer all the questions that come through, given that they are respectful, of course. Sometimes we get some people that say some strange things, but otherwise, be good. All right. Ron, what's up? Okay, we're done there. I'm going to sweep some on my chest because a little pale. All right. Is it Katie? Hola, hello. All right, so now I'm going to contour my nose with, where is the brush? Where did it go? Where is it? I can't find it. Oh, I found it. Back to work for me. Keep killing it. Thank you. Have a good one. Appreciate you being in here. Okay, so I'm going to go in with sculpting bronzer from Physicians Formula. So they have a few different shades, but this is the sculpting one. The other ones are too light for me. So if you are like a medium tan skin tone, this will be the right one for you. The other ones are just a little too light. But that's the thing, is Physicians Formula kind of notorious for having things that are just kind of light-skinned, you know, aimed at light-skinned, and then it's not very inclusive straight shade range. But they do make really good products. It seems to be they're starting to work a bit more on being expanding their shade ranges a bit more. So nice. Thank you. While I have these lines down my nose right now. I know I look crazy at first before it's blended out. That's part of makeup. Obviously, I wouldn't do this on a day where I'm not wearing foundation, or if I was doing very light makeup. Why did that happen? Okay, sorry. Alright, now going under the nose. What other questions do you guys have? Training, nutrition related, anything really? I only see men comment while she's doing her makeup. I always see more girls comment. So a lot of the girls were in here earlier. It really just depends on the time that you catch me. But yeah, I do my makeup while I do these Q&As. So I think the men have come to realize that their questions will get answered even if I'm sitting here doing my makeup. It's not just a makeup video. So anyway, I look crazy, so I'm gonna blend this out. Andre, hey, what's good? While I sit here contouring my nose. Julia, hello. I don't know what that says. Unfortunately, I only speak English, so I'm so sorry. If you don't mind, if you can type, or if somebody else knows what that said, please help me out. I'd appreciate it, because I can't pull up Google Translate at the same time. I wish I knew. I wish I was, spoke a lot more languages, but I don't. It is a goal of mine, though. Man, my nose has been just dripping. I'm at the trampoline park, just stopping by to say what up, bro. Trampoline park, now that is fun. Jumping around on trampolines. It's so much fun. The most fun. All right, starting to get a bit more blended, but still got more blending to do. Why isn't this staying open? Okay, we're good. What other questions do you guys have? Let me know. I'm only gonna be live for like another 15 minutes-ish, because I have to pick up my daughter from school after that. She gets out of kindergarten in about half hour. Good thing is we live like literally walking distance from the school. Seems like she's saying, why are you contouring so much? Over contouring, but I could be wrong too. No, totally understand. So it's just a darker shade. I usually use a lighter one, but that's one I reached for, and I might as well use it. Now I can fix it by using powder to then blend it out. I contour my nose when I do my foundation. I don't contour otherwise. I just do it when I do foundation, just because. Do you know what's really funny though? Is sometimes, I've gotten pretty good at contouring my nose now, but apparently I was getting so good at it. Obviously it's not blended out right now, but that this guy was adamant, and I mean adamant, that I'd gotten a nose job. Like some random dude commented on my stuff and was like convinced I'd gotten a nose job. And I was like, I have a wide nose. Like when I smile, my nose is really wide. And I'm like, how could you even think that my nose is, I got a nose job. I'm like, I don't even have the money for that. That's like, what, 10, I don't know. How much is it? I have no idea how much plastic surgery really costs, to be honest. I think my friend, her boob job costs like $10,000 or something. So maybe like 8,000. I don't know. I don't have just $8,000 sitting around to go get my nose done, a nose job. And I don't care to. Like, I have a larger nose. I don't care. I can contour if I want to. Other days I don't. And the greatest part was that he commented that on a picture of me and my daughter. And I was like, some people, man. Some people. And I was like, what? And I was like, have you ever heard of makeup? Like, what do you think when you see other people, like, have you seen, like, on YouTube when someone's like, how to contour your nose? And they see the before and after, like, they didn't get a nose job. Do you think they got a nose job for the sake of a video? Like, in those 15-minute time frame, they somehow went and got a nose job. But, men. I'm out. Dudes that don't know how to start a convo say awkward stuff to start a convo. I think so. I think he just needed attention that day and was deprived of it. They be trying to hit on that. What a weird way to do that, right? Rain Toma? Is that right? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I just butchered your name. I'm trying to grow my glutes by boosting my calorie intake, but when I do that, the extra weight goes to my love handles help. So when you are trying to gain muscle, there will be some fat gain involved. Unfortunately, you can't control where the fat goes. But by gaining slowly and by being consistent with your calorie intake and your training, and training in a way that is, you know, for prioritizing your glutes, you will be able to grow your glutes. But unfortunately, your love handles might get bigger, just because we can't control where our fat goes. For me, my fat goes all to my backside. So when I'm in a gaining phase, that's what's going to happen, is that my backside is going to gain some fat. That's just part of it, even though I don't want it to. But it's why we have to kind of sacrifice, you know, based off of our goal. If we have a goal of muscle gain, you have to understand that, like, you're not going to be able to prioritize, you know, staying lean if you're trying to gain muscle. So you have to focus on one goal at a time. And of course, after you've gone through that muscle gaining phase and you're ready to go through a fat loss phase, then you're ready to do that. God, it's a long stream. Yeah, I came right back. It only lets me go live for an hour at a time. All right, so I think I'm pretty blended out now. It doesn't look as crazy. So on to highlight and then blush. So I need my highlight brush first. My trusty highlight brush. Bye, Andre. Have a good one. What's your professional recommendation on rest intervals as it correlates to beginners starting men Kegels? Yeah, Kegels are tough. I'm really surprised that men actually do them. But anyway, rest intervals for anything really is, there's not much conclusive research that's been done yet, but typically if you're within 45 to 90 second rest intervals, that's really what's going to be best. I don't know if you answered my question because I lost you for a little bit. I don't see one from you, but I could have missed it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Unless it was on the last live stream. But yeah, I just scrolled all the way up and I'm not seeing it. So it might not have posted for you. So if you could just type in your question again, I can definitely answer. What's your advice for gym anxiety? I know I shouldn't worry about others, but it's real. No, it's totally real, totally valid. I get that. Honestly, one, picking a gym that is an environment that you're going to be most comfortable with. Two, having a plan. So I actually wrote a couple captions on this. If you have, I just picked up the wrong thing, I'm sorry. If you have a plan going into the gym, you're going to feel a lot more confident and a lot less anxious because you're not just going in and winging it. So having some sort of structured training program is going to be helpful, because otherwise you're going to feel less confident, more insecure, because you're like, I don't even know if I'm doing what I need to be doing. So the more confidence that you have before you go in there, the better. Trying to remember that the people there are also just focused on their own workouts is going to help. But of course, you know, you're still gonna have that feeling of like, are these people looking at me? And sometimes there are people that are looking at you. That's the truth of it. There are people who are rude and there are people who are judgy. But for the most part, everybody is there just trying to focus on themselves, and trying to focus on yourself as much as possible is going to be helpful. But that does take time. So being patient with yourself in that and trying to, you know, take baby steps with that, just push yourself a little bit more out of your comfort zone every time, you will get there. So whatever you can start off with, you know, if it's going to be too much anxiety for you to go 5 times a week, don't start there. Start with, 3 days a week. And then the more comfortable that you get, maybe pick times that are less busy, if possible, with your schedule, to go, so that you can get more comfortable with the exercise portion of it before you get into, really doing it around like a lot of people or a crowded gym. Call me. I don't just call random people. I do handle inquiry calls for people who are looking for coaching. That's how I handle my inquiries, as we do a phone call to make sure we're a good fit. Sorry, so this is the ColourPop highlighter Super Shock Cheek in the shade Wisp. I highly recommend their Super Shock highlighters. They're just the best. They just look at it. It doesn't look glittery. It just looks nice. And I do my highlight underneath my blush so that it looks more lit from within, as opposed to like a blinding highlight. That's just what I currently prefer. I used to prefer more of a blinding highlight, but now I prefer a lighter one. Thank you, Boo. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Oh, Sean, the best healthy living lifestyle advice I have ever heard is something you said earlier this year. Sustainability is key to make your diet or workout sustainable. Thank you for that feedback. And yes, sustainability is important. A lot of people forget about it. And so then they're looking for like, oh, what's the best or what's the optimal? It's like, well, would you be able to stick to it? If not, then why even attempt to do that? Because you're just going to make yourself miserable and make it a lot harder for yourself. And I think people just are in this habit of thinking that they need to suffer to make progress based on, what goes around on social media and just in the media in general, that then, they're misled to believe that that's what they need to do. And so then they're not seeking what can they actually sustain when that's what matters. Enrique, hello. Mosi, hello. Do you ever wear makeup to the gym? No. Except for when I'm recording something for, which is pretty rare, like when I made my muscle building with Mish program, just to be more professional looking. I hate wearing makeup in the gym now. I used to wear makeup to the gym, but I just don't anymore. I just don't like the feeling of sweating in makeup. I don't like it. Because right after I just want to take it off. So no. Blush that I'm using is the Burt's Bees blush in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. I love this blush. It's amazing. It's the most perfect finish and color. I don't really tend to go for pinky blushes. I usually go for more nude, tan, peach-ish colors. I don't even go for the peach ones as much. Sustaining a dad bod ain't easy for real though. It's helped transform my dad bod. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really happy that it's been, helping you. That's really important, so I'm glad. What are your thoughts on intermittent fasting? So this is the third time today. I didn't know it was still such a popular topic, but apparently it is. Anyway, it's not more or less beneficial than not intermittent fasting. It's just a way to control your calorie intake. So say if you're in a fat loss phase and you're trying to eat fewer calories and you're having a hard time staying within that calorie goal, you might find it easier to stay within that if you restrict the times you eat by doing intermittent fasting. But if you're somebody who loves breakfast and eats breakfast on a daily basis, then you don't need to do that because it's not going to help you stick to it. So personal preference. It's not magic. It's not more beneficial or less beneficial. All right. Okay, now I'm going to do my brows and my mascara. Ben, hello. Is it Monia? I'm so sorry if I totally butchered your name. Trying hard to build muscle, but I'm not sure if I'm doing the right diet. I go to the gym 6 times a week. I'm lifting weights. I'm 36 years old, height 5'7", and weigh 136 pounds. So, in terms of right or wrong, there's no right or wrong when it comes to diet, which is the foods that you eat. It's about the amounts that you're eating. So there's no healthy or unhealthy, good versus bad when it comes to food. It's just a matter of portion sizes. So with that said, tracking your calories is going to help, especially if you're trying to build muscle. If you're having a hard time building, then you're likely not eating enough. So tracking your calories will help you to make sure that you are eating the proper amount, especially eating enough protein to support your goals. And then that way, say if your weight is dropping or it's staying the same and you're trying to gain, then that means you're not eating enough calories. So then you'd be okay, I just need to bump up my calories a little bit. You actually have data to be able to then adjust from. And the same thing goes for a fat loss phase as well. So there's no right or wrong. Some people are vegetarians, some people are vegans, some people are pescatarian. Those are all referring to what you eat within your diet. But if their calories are in check, that's what's going to affect whether they gain or lose or maintain their weight. So of course, prioritize your lean protein sources, fruits, veggies, kind of like the common sense type things. Of course, those should be the majority of your diet, but eating everything else in moderation has no negative impact as long as it's within your calories. Because you could, even if you were eating what some people would label as like healthy, even if you were eating like, veggies and fruit and like say like nuts and things, if you were to be overeating your calories, you would gain weight if somebody was trying to lose weight. So being in control of those calories is still going to matter. And then, of course, making sure that with your training that you are training consistently, following a structured program so that you're actually progressing with your lifting to gain muscle. And then getting enough sleep, managing your stress well, and drinking enough water. Those are all going to matter as well. So this brow pencil is from e.l.f. I know the shade is neutral brown, but I always forget the name of this pencil. Instant Lift brow pencil. So I love this pencil. It's like $3 or $4. And then the gel that I use is also from e.l.f. The Wow Brow Gel, and it's also in neutral brown. And this stuff is the best. It's better than any high-end one, I promise you. It has a much better hold than the Benefit brow stuff or Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the best one. And it's like literally $3 or $4. So they will stay in place. You look so beautiful. Thank you. From Algeria. Very cool. Todd, are you clean shaven? I don't have a beard, so yeah, I guess you could say so. Sorry, mascara is next. I just want to lose fat in my stomach area and I want to gain weight for my legs and booty. What should I eat? So, you can't do both, unfortunately, at the same time. Fat loss is one goal. Muscle gain is another. You can't pick and choose where you're going to lose fat from. Can't spot reduce fat. So you're going to have to be patient and focus on one goal at a time. So if you really want to focus on gaining muscle, which I would recommend doing first, you're going to need to be consistent with lifting and eating enough calories and eating enough protein, sleeping well, drinking enough water, all of those things. In terms of, you may lose fat from your stomach area if, say, like you focus on maintenance. If you're totally new to lifting, you may be able to achieve some body recomposition over time. So if you're lifting consistently and maintaining your weight, lose fat and gain muscle within that weight over time. But that is a very long process, so you do have to have patience and remember that. Muscle gain is a long process, so keeping that in mind. There's no magic diet or magic exercise that can spot reduce fat or anything like that. So with that, you're going to need to train consistently in a way that suits your goals, and your nutrition's going to need to be in check. Okay, mascara. First I do a coat of the Maybelline Cat Eyes mascara, and I use only waterproof mascaras because my eyelashes are long, but they're straight. They don't hold a curl. So I'm just going to recurl these because it's been a while. Because I've been live for like 2 hours now. Okay. Okay. Danny, what does your diet consist of? A large variety of foods. So I would never worry about what someone else is eating because your personal preferences will differ. Like I love zucchini and mushrooms. Someone else might hate those things. You don't need to eat them. As long as you're eating plenty of fruits and veggies and lean protein, that's what matters. Everything else in moderation. So I have a great variety in my diet. And I focus on tracking my food to be within the right amount. Right now I'm not tracking because I've been tracking for 7 years, and I'm at a place now where I don't have to track to stay on track. But most people cannot intuitively eat the proper amount of calories without having tracked before. Anyway, with that said, I eat a lot of rice. I eat rice literally every day. Except for today, I won't be because today's Pizza Friday in my household, so we'll be having pizza instead of rice at dinner time. But yeah, I eat rice almost every single day. ate a lot of angel hair pasta, ground turkey, chicken, beef, salmon, eggs. I eat eggs every single day. I ate bagels. I ate a ton of berries. I always have berries because they're just so convenient. I love fruit. I love fruit. I could literally eat so much fruit. And different veggies depending on the week. So usually that involves zucchini or mushrooms or broccoli or something of that nature. Anyway, now I'm going to use the Lash Princess mascara, which is also waterproof. This is my holy grail. Armand, hello. See, how often would you eat fast food or recommend something like a cheat day? I don't recommend cheat days. I recommend eating everything in moderation, because if you label things as cheat days and you gorge yourself on those days and then you restrict yourself on others, it's a very unhealthy relationship with food, and no singular food is good or bad, and the more that we label them that way, the harder it is to stay on track. So if you eat those foods in moderation on a regular basis instead, when you want to have them and you fit them into your calories, then you have an easier time staying on track, you have a healthier relationship with food, and you're not having to constantly go through that restrict, overeat, restrict, kind of trying to undo things on a weekly basis. So instead, you're consistent every day instead of just Monday through Friday. Okay. Got a little above there. Oh, man. So if I want to gain weight, I can eat as much as I can. No, you want to gain slowly. You want to track your calories to make sure you're eating the right amount for your goal. So, I would track your calories and then track, how your progress is going. If you're trying to gain weight, you want to gain slowly so that you're gaining mostly muscle and not muscle and fat. You will gain some fat, but to minimize that fat gain, you're going to want to make sure you're gaining slowly. So roughly like 1/4 to 1/2 pound per week based on your weekly average weight. So you want to pay attention to. Very true. Thank you. Love fruit too. Fruit is best. I ate so much fruit. So anyway, I'm going to let this mascara dry a little bit before I get this little piece off of it. Otherwise it'll smear. Giovanni, hello. Ollie, where are you going? I'm about to go pick up my daughter from school. I just do makeup when I want to. That was my little alarm that I have to leave in like 5 minutes. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I just do makeup when I feel like it, which is usually twice a week for fun. I'm gonna do it today. So I did because I wanted to test out my new foundation as well. Yeah, now I'm gonna do the final thing, which is lips. But first I need to drink water because my lips are chapped. Okay, so typically I just wear lip liner and some chapstick. Well, not chapstick, lip balm. It's literally Vaseline. I just put Vaseline on my lips. So, fun fact. So I used to, several live streams in a row, I raved about what was my favorite lip balm, which was the Mario Badescu, I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm sure you're familiar with his skincare products if you aren't. Anyway, his lip balm, it was the original one, so it was coconut. I loved the smell of it and it would feel really nice. Anyway, I follow and I'm subscribed to this dermatologist who I really, really love because she talks about like the actual science behind skincare as opposed to fear mongering, which happens not just in the health industry in terms of food, but also with skincare. I'm sure you've seen people are like, go, clean beauty, which is a bunch of shit. Anyway, so I love following her, and she did a whole thing about lip balms, and I was talking about how, if you're having coconut oil, obviously that tends to be, for a lot of people, it is an irritant, so you don't want to be slathering your face in coconut oil. I've never done that anyway, but I have noticed that whenever I've had coconut oil in products where I didn't realize it was in there, I would break out in those spots. So I've been avoiding that. And then I didn't even think about, of course, like coconut oil in a lip balm, like it goes on my lips. But what she was saying was, of course, you know, if it's on your lips, people tend to get acne around the mouth. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I would get congestion, which I'm not now because I stopped using it a couple weeks ago. I was still getting, not like full-blown zits, but just like those like closed like little tiny spots like around my mouth, no matter what. And I'm very consistent with my skincare, so like, oh, okay. And she was saying, you know, just use some fucking Vaseline, it's cheap, you don't need any fancy thing for your lips. And I was like, true. So I switched to that, and I'm not getting congestion around my mouth area. So I take back what I said about that lip balm. Even though it smells great and it was nice on the lips, it was making me break out around my mouth. So if you're sensitive to coconut oil, just letting you know, just use Vaseline. They sell the Vaseline in a tube. That's what I use, so you don't have to stick your finger in it or a cotton swab in it. You can just have it in a tube and throw it in your purse or just throw it in your pocket, whatever. Just letting you know. Okay, so lip liner. I don't know which one I'm going to use today because I have a million different nude ones. Can you make vlogs for YouTube? I appreciate you like always being in here, Emily, first of all. I've never been a vlog person because I'm like, what do I do? Do I just sit here and talk? Like, are you guys really interested in like knowing what my days are just like, I work from home. I'm on check-in calls like all day, most days. My voice is going right now. I've been talking for 2 hours. And so I'm like, you know, on check-in calls all day. Like, I don't leave my house very often except for 1, to get out and go to the gym, and 2, to go on walks so that I'm not totally sedentary. And, you know, I otherwise, like, it's, you know, me and my family, and there's just not much interesting stuff going on. I don't do anything crazy or super interesting on a regular basis. So I don't know what you guys would want to see in those. If there was like some sort of feedback for that, maybe I would do it. Possibly, because I do enjoy going, look, my nose is dripping, so gross. I do really enjoy doing live streams and being able to like talk to you guys live, which is what I enjoy, to actually have that interaction, which is also why I do calls for my check-ins, because it's in real time, you know, when people have questions, as opposed to sending over an email, waiting for that response, then having more questions, waiting for the response. Being able to do it on a phone call tends to help, which is also why I like to do live streams. But I'd love to hear feedback for if there is something that you would want to see on YouTube. I might pick that up. Who knows? Okay, I'm gonna use use a ColourPop one. I haven't been giving them enough love in the lip area. So the only thing I'll say about these is as much as I love the formula, the caps fall off so easily. And I don't like that, because if I'm going to throw my lip liner in my purse, and then it's going to get all over the inside of my purse. But it's fine. I'll still use them because I love what's inside. Alright, so this is the shade BFF. I also have BFF 2. I got a little something. What is that? Skin. Cool. And I do not overline my lips except for like right here where the Cupid's bow is. Can you even understand me? Right where the Cupid's bow is? Because mine is very pointy. And I don't like how pointy it is. Alright, this is too light right now. With this shade of foundation, it's too light. So I'm going to go with BFF2. Any apps to recommend for finding macros? So honestly, we have a macro calculator, but just know that a calculator is just a starting point. So the best way to find your macros is to just start tracking. So if you just start tracking what you already normally eat in like MyFitnessPal or another free tracking app, you just start tracking what you normally eat to get an idea of how many calories you typically consume. Then you'll already know, okay, like let's say you find out you're eating like 2,000 calories on a regular basis and you're maintaining your weight, then that means 2,000 calories is your maintenance. You'd have to do that consistently for at least 2 weeks and then, you know, compare your progress and see where you're at. And then that way you're like, okay, now that I know my maintenance, now I can adjust accordingly. If you're trying to, you know, go into a fat loss phase, then you would just adjust down from those 2,000 calories. Or if you're trying to gain muscle, then you would bump up your calories from that amount. So just looking at that amount will help you because then you're actually basing it off of your own data. That'll be the best way to do it. Okay. Yeah, this is a much better color for right now with the tanness right now. Okay. Makes sense. I just think you'd be amazing at anything fitness, health, beauty, skin related. I would watch them. I appreciate that feedback. Maybe I will do it. Right now it looks like I have like a 90s lip going on. Because it's like dark and then like light in the middle. Anyway, we're gonna blend that out with lip balm. No, it's downstairs and I don't feel like running down to get that and leaving this. So I'm gonna wear lipstick, I guess. It's not really lipstick, it's more like a lip balm. So it's just like a tinted one. It's the Physician's Formula Mirror Butter and Soaking Up the Sun. It's supposed to be a lipstick, but it's so lightweight. It's more like a balm. I don't really consider it a lipstick. It does have SPF in it as well. Like it's not very little color. It feels more like a balm. Okay. Kelly, I appreciate the heart eyes. It's like doing a BMI test gave me a number of calories burned by my body. Is that accurate? Would you use that for reference? Those are typically not accurate, especially if you're talking about like an in-body scan. So I wouldn't really worry about that because it could be totally off. It's just a calculation. So it's better to just go off of your actual data by tracking, and then when you do that, you'll know where you really need to be. I'm gonna leave here in like a minute, so I gotta go. But before I do that, I'm gonna highlight the inner corners of my eyes. I'm using Wisp again. I'm telling you, if you don't already own a Super Shock highlighter from ColourPop, then you are missing out. I'm telling you, it's the best. Like I don't even know how to describe what it feels like. Like it feels almost wet to the touch. It's kind of like a cream, but it's not. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a cream and a powder made a baby. And it's this, and it's beautiful, and I love it. This one's Wisp. This one's Churro. They don't sell Churro anymore, but Churro has Wisp in it because it's a tie-dye. I believe the other ones that are in here, it's like Wisp, and I think the dark one that's in here is like Parasol or something. So if you're darker skinned, that's the one that you would want to get. If you're like medium, I would get Wisp. It'll be too dark for somebody who's like light to medium, but if you're medium to tan, it's the best one. All right. Hello. I'm actually hopping off here now, so I gotta go pick up my daughter from kindergarten, but I really appreciate you guys being in here. I'm gonna spray my face real quick, and then I'm gonna go the Milani Make It Last spray. Okay. Whew. It smells nice though. Like, flip the hair. All right, I gotta take these clips out and look crazy with purple clips sticking out. Be in line like waiting to pick up Izzy, and people are like, you got purple clips in your hair just poking out from behind your ears. And I washed my hair today, so put it in a bun. I'll see, it might not be dry just yet, but this is what I do with my hair. So I put it in the bun when it's damp, and then it comes out kind of curly wavy because I have naturally very straight hair. So anyway, appreciate you guys being in here. I'll probably come back on here live tomorrow. I don't think I will be able to do that tonight because I do have some calls late in this evening, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow to go live. So I appreciate you guys being in here. If you do have more questions, save them for the next live stream, and have a great Friday.